Right now, a new UW study finds that COVID vaccine is helping lower the early birth rate to pre-pandemic levels.
Also, two pro-Palestinian demonstrations happening in Madison today as more hostages are released by Hamas.
And we're following a school in Janesville using News 3 Now's Time for Kids Understanding Emotions book. Our Jalen Banks shares how it's helping students navigate their feelings. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. A new study by a UW-Madison professor found that COVID-19 caused an alarming surge in premature births, but COVID vaccines were a big part in lowering the early birth rate to pre-pandemic levels.
Our Catherine Merck spoke with the professor about what this means for vaccinations for those who are expecting. Catherine?
The study looked at births before and after the pandemic, and while the findings are new, the message remains the same about vaccinations.
You know, we have every reason to believe that vaccines are safe in pregnancy. All of the evidence suggests that.
We've heard this before. Vaccinations are safe. But a new study shows that not getting your COVID shot can have even more consequences for babies.
There are costs to the fetus of avoiding vaccination.
A new study with findings published partly by UW-Madison professor Jenna Nobles found that COVID-19 caused an alarming surge in premature births. However, vaccines were key to returning the early birth rate to pre-pandemic levels. The team compared siblings who were born before the pandemic and those who were born after.
It seems that the population immunity conferred both from people's exposure to the virus, in fact, people had cases of COVID, but also because of vaccination was extremely protective against the risk of having COVID on pregnancy outcomes.
This professor says the research makes a compelling argument in favor of getting vaccinations and boosters. So while this study is brand new, she says it leads to the same message doctors have been saying all along.
Vaccination for people thinking about getting pregnant and for people who are pregnant is a good idea.
Preterm birth is associated with many short and long-term health problems and deficiencies for children and their families. It's the leading contributor to infant mortality, and cutting short development in the womb can require additional medical attention that costs are an average of more than $80,000 per child. That makes these findings of this study even more important for families.
Very interesting. Catherine, thank you. Let's get a look now at your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is on the weather patio. Gary?
It was a much nicer day today, having southwesterly winds and sunshine combined to give us temperatures about 20 degrees warmer than yesterday. As we check out the visible cloud track, you can see the snow cover really shrinking across Wisconsin as the temperatures got above freezing, and right now just some snow flurries on the other side of the Great Lakes, nothing across Wisconsin. Low temperatures this morning, these were since midnight. Madison at midnight was at 20 degrees. Temperatures were in the teens elsewhere, but we warmed up very nicely into the 40s across most of southern Wisconsin. Madison topped out at 43, so did Janesville. And right now we've dropped back to 39, but a few places are still around 40 degrees. Everybody else in the mid to upper 30s. Here in Dane County, 39 Middleton, 37 degrees in Belleville, and 37 in Edgerton. Look for skies to be clear to partly cloudy this evening. Temperatures dropping into the lower 30s by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at our prospects for some rain and snow showers as we head toward the weekend.
All right, Gary, thank you. A U.S. citizen was among the hostages Hamas released today. Israel also releasing an additional 30 Palestinian prisoners.
The extended ceasefire is set to expire, but intense negotiations are underway to continue the truce even longer, which would enable more humanitarian aid to flow into Gaza. Natalie Brand has the details from Capitol Hill.
Hamas released more hostages Wednesday on the 6th day of a temporary ceasefire. The fate of Israel's youngest hostage, a 10-month-old baby, and his 4-year-old brother and mother remains uncertain. The Israeli military said Wednesday that it's examining the reliability of a Hamas claim that Shireh Bibas and her sons had been killed in Israeli airstrikes. CBS News could not independently verify that claim. Israeli official Benny Gantz said he spoke with the Bibas family today. He called the report painful. Relatives of hostages met with lawmakers on Capitol Hill calling for the release of all hostages. Israel believes around 150 remain in captivity. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said he will push for the temporary ceasefire to be extended during his trip this week to Israel.
It's also enabled us to surge humanitarian assistance into the people of Gaza who so desperately need it.
In Gaza, residents lined up for supplies at a UN distribution center. Health officials warn of dire outcomes facing the millions of Palestinian civilians living in the war-ravaged territory.
Eventually, we will see more people dying from disease than we're even seeing from the bombardment if we are not able to put back this health system.
The White House says more than 2,000 trucks of aid have made it into Gaza since October 21st. But UN health officials say the surge in aid is still not nearly as much as needed. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said today Israel unequivocally plans to resume the war when the truce ends.
Meanwhile, closer to home, Madison saw another pair of demonstrations on campus about the war.
Our main priority or our main goal with this is to inform.
Our message is filled of love and peace and unity and stuff, and not of hate.
And that's from just a few UW students, what they had to say about the continued conflict in the Middle East. Both demonstrations today were organized as an effort to show support for the people killed and taken hostage on both sides of the conflict.
Kyle Pozorski spoke with people from both groups about how they hope to spread a message to their classmates. Kyle?
It's a tale of two sides with little common ground between them. The one thing they do have in common, a hope to end the fighting in the Middle East. On one side, empty chairs lining Library Mall, displaying the faces and names of Jews taken hostage by Hamas.
Our message is filled of love and peace.
Up on Bascom Hill, a pro-Palestinian die-in.
We're trying to, send a message.
The war nearing 2 months has continued to divide students at UW. Jacob Bigelman says the conflict on campus is almost unavoidable.
We were one of the first groups to go up and hang hostage posters around, and within an hour, they were torn down.
Bigelman, along with his friends and a coalition of Jewish organizations, placed the chairs. Their message, free the hostages taken by Hamas.
We can be critical of the IDF and the Israeli government, but you can't be critical of hostages being, taken against their own will.
He did not make it to the age of 1.
A short distance away, a similar message of humanity for the innocent civilians caught in the middle of the conflict in Gaza.
Just because there's a temporary ceasefire, this is still going to continue.
Shafiq is the campus leader of Students for Justice. For him, the action of laying in a public space invokes images he says his fellow classmates need to be reminded of, that there is no long-term peace in sight.
I know that a lot of people are aware of it, but it's just like saying, hey, in case you haven't been noticing, this is something that's still going on. We want to make sure that people still know that this is happening, because we do need a permanent ceasefire.
This is just the latest set of demonstrations we've seen on the campus in the last couple months as both sides try to keep the conflict front of mind.
Kyle, thank you. Well, the presidential general election is still a year or so away. New polling data gives us insight into how next November's race could play out in Wisconsin. Experts from the Marquette University Law School poll held a 2024 Wisconsin election outlook panel today. The main takeaways from the polling include Donald Trump making gains in multiple categories within the Republican Party. However, non-Trump Republican candidates continue to fare better in potential head-to-head matchups against President Biden, with still a long way to go until Election Day.
First thing about polling data a year out is to remember that saying, don't panic. A year is forever in politics, and that's true of polls just like it is everything else.
Well, experts say the most useful part about polling this far out from an election is that it's helpful to see how a race develops over time. Results from this most recent poll will be used to evaluate how the race changes over the next 12 months.
Governor Evers visited an Eau Claire food bank in honor of Giving Tuesday yesterday, and while he was there, he addressed his Warren Spahn email address. Last weekend, conservative outlet Wisconsin Right Now reported that Governor Evers used an alternate email named after the Hall of Fame pitcher. The governor defended the use of the address, saying other politicians have done the same thing. He added that he hasn't used the email address for a long time and that it was created to save time.
It's done to kind of protect my work time, and it doesn't impact anybody, because when somebody says, I'd like to have, if they do an open records request on it, we send it out, and we put right on there, this name is blanked out, and the reason it's blanked out is protecting the governor's time.
The governor says he picked the name Warren Spahn because he was a huge fan of the Milwaukee Braves in the 1950s. The city of Madison's independent police monitor is holding his first community listening session tonight, hoping to give the public a chance to weigh in on the way it oversees the Madison Police Department. The event starts tonight at 6 at the Madison Municipal Building. It's focused on setting up a process for how the public can make complaints about Madison Police to the Independent Police Monitor and the Police Civilian Oversight Board. Both oversight bodies were created in 2020 as a way to hold the Madison Police Department accountable.
Public Health Madison and Dane County will give just over $400,000 to support local groups working to prevent violence in the area. They connect children and families with resources to promote good health and bring communities together. To date, the organization has awarded nearly $760,000 to 13 local groups. That first round of funds was made possible by the American Rescue Plan Act. Now they'll use funds from both Dane County and the city of Madison. Applications for this new round of funding are open now and due by December 20th.
Well, in elementary school, you learn the basic skills of reading, writing, and math. But there is something that many kids don't learn. In this week's Time for Kids report, our Jalen Banks caught up with one elementary school that's using a book teaching kids how to better understand their emotions. Jalen, how was it?
Susan, it was great, and I spent the afternoon with Van Buren Elementary School in Janesville, which is using the Time for Kids Understanding Emotions book to help them navigate their feelings. The book has activities ranging from calming exercises for anger to self-esteem exercises that focus on what students are good at. One school counselor that I spoke with today says getting students to understand their emotions at a younger age helps them in the long run.
Being able to understand how you feel helps you make decisions. It helps you know how to regulate your body. It helps you know what kind of skills are beneficial versus ones that don't really work for you in that moment.
Today's class was mixed with 4th and 1st graders, allowing there to be a peer-based teaching and learning environment between the two classes. Tonight at 6, we'll hear more from the school on why they brought this teaching style to Van Buren Elementary.
Jalen, thank you. Former First Lady Rosalind Carter received her final farewells after a 3-day public tribute that began on Monday. The service for the former First Lady was held at Maranatha Baptist Church in Plains, Georgia, the same town where she was born and spent years with her husband, former President Jimmy Carter. The service included tributes from Mrs. Carter's sons, Jack and Jeff. Jimmy Carter, who is 99 and receiving hospice care at home, was able to attend the private funeral services for his wife. Rosalind Carter died on November 19th at the age of 96.
A ransomware attack on a national healthcare system had 30 hospitals in 6 states diverting patients from some emergency rooms to other hospitals today. Ardent Health Services says it took its network offline as a protective measure. Certain elective procedures have been postponed while they work to restore access to their systems.
After the break, we'll take a look at your complete First Warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti.
And the future is here, how AI can help with your holiday shopping. That and more as News 3 Now at 5 continues.
Quick midweek check of the markets, mixed results. The Dow adds 13, the NASDAQ loses 23, S&P 500 loses a little more than 4. We'll be right back.
Black Friday mattress deals have been extended for one final week at Ashley. It's your last chance to save up to 83% off top mattress brands, plus low monthly payments with special interest financing for 6 long years. Only at Ashley.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Black Friday Extended event going on now. Join us for more unbeatable Black Friday-like deals store-wide while supplies last. Like half off these printed and solid throws, $14.99 each. Over 55% off this digital slow cooker, now $29.99. $6 off 36-count Victor Allen's Holiday Brew Cups, $10.99. And load up on your favorite Blaine's chocolate candy, 3 for $9. Don't miss your last chance to save with extended Black Friday-like deals at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
However you do the holidays, do it together in the Chevy that's right for you. The strong and capable Chevy Silverado, the award-winning Chevy Equinox, or the all-new Chevy Trax. This holiday season, do more together in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups, or current Chevy owners can use Red Tag Bonus Cash to get $5,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
One winter in the early 60s, a quirky young musician drifted into Madison like a complete unknown. Today, he's a cultural icon. Explore a pivotal stop on Bob Dylan's road to fame with Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now. Congratulations to Madison Magazine for earning 9 awards in the Milwaukee Press Club Excellence in Wisconsin Journalism Competition, including top honors for Best Single Story or Feature Design and Best Feature Photograph.
Black Friday deals have been extended for one final week at Ashley. It's your last chance to save up to 65% off doorbusters and special deals on our hottest looks store-wide. Plus special interest financing for 6 long years with low monthly payments only at Ashley.
It's time for kids. Jalen Banks highlights how children learn to process emotions. Here's what you need to know as a parent.
Then we head to Rock County to check out the new police training on protecting places of worship. That's tonight at 6.
Start your new day with the News 3 Now This Morning team, bringing you local breaking news, exploring all that makes our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now This Morning, weekdays. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, the holidays just got high-tech. This season, AI can help shoppers search for the perfect present. Gloria Pasmino has more on how and where AI is being used.
Buying real gifts with the help of artificial intelligence.
We have this new Google AI-powered gifting tool.
As Lillian Rincon with Google Shopping explains, when buyers engage with Google's generative AI, they can discover items with just a few words.
I'm shopping for my 7-year-old daughter, who's very picky, and she wants to be a scientist and inventor, and so I can actually query for exactly that.
Thomas Germain from Gizmodo says the more these AI tools learn, the better it is for the shopper's experience.
Right now, you kind of have to know what you're looking for. You need to know the name of the product or have a really accurate description. With these AI tools, the better that they get, the idea is ultimately they'll be able to help do the thinking for you.
But shoppers, beware. Experts say if you opt in,
it gives powerful corporations a lot more power. The power to make a prediction, the power to understand what is going to be the most effective bid in a transaction, what price you're willing to pay.
As for how some of those gifts get to you, AI is helping with that too.
In this holiday season, some customers will receive their packages that are picked, packed, or sorted by robots.
Peter Chen from Covariant explains that AI-powered robots can pump out around 3,000 packages an hour. Human hands, about 300 to 400. In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino.
Japan's Coast Guard released videos today showing volcanic activity at Najima Island taken by an unmanned aircraft. According to the Coast Guard of Japan, the eruption reached a height of 656 feet. That was back on November 23rd. The island has grown by 164 feet since the agency surveilled it earlier this month. The agency says it continues to issue navigation warnings and other advisories regarding the eruption and urges caution for vessels traveling nearby. A look now at your first warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti. Gary?
Well, we had a nice improvement in temperatures today. Lots of sunshine. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. High temperatures will again be in the lower 40s for tomorrow, for the last day of November. Rain and snow shower chances start Friday and go off and on through the weekend, but the precipitation for the most part is going to be pretty light. And then we see another surge of mild weather with high temperatures back into the 40s by the end of next week. The high temperature trend over the next 10 days, you can see the average high temperature goes from 38 to 34. We're in the lower 40s tomorrow, near normal for Friday, Saturday, a little above normal for the weekend, and then near normal for Tuesday and Wednesday before those temperatures jump back into the 40s and above normal at the end of next week. On Doppler track, the lake effect snows now have shifted to the north and east of the Great Lakes. That puts them into Canada, and right now the upper Midwest is free of precipitation. We have a couple of weather systems that will be affecting us. Most of those will stay to our south as we head over the weekend. 10-day future track. This is actually through early on Monday morning. Probably looking at around 1/10 to maybe 1/4 of an inch of precipitation over southern Wisconsin. The lesser amounts be north and west of Madison. Maybe a couple of inches of snow across northern Illinois, but across southern Wisconsin, generally less than an inch of snow. And you can see the snow depth is pretty sparse across the entire country. Notice to the north and west the lack of snow. That means even when we get shots of cold air, they have time to modify because the ground is still kind of warm. And so that warms up the air before it reaches us, and our snowpack will be dwindling away pretty quickly over the next couple of days. Most of the heavier snow has been through the mountains out west, but take a look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, and that doesn't bode well for snow. Above normal temperatures through almost the entire country with the exception of Florida and the northwestern portion of Washington state. Above normal precipitation expected through much of the northern half of the country. The jet stream will sag just far enough south to give us these weak weather systems, but it's not going to amount to too much. The southwestern portion of the nation will be drier than normal, and you can see much of the country right now is precipitation free. That's kind of unusual for the end of November, early December, because it's typically a time of year where we start to see a little more precipitation and stronger storm systems. Planning your night, look for partly cloudy skies. 9 p.m. temperature in Madison around 30. Look where we are at midnight. 30 degrees, temperatures upper 20s to around 30 right through the night. 30 degrees at 3 a.m. and notice temperatures in the low 30s by the time we get to sunup tomorrow around 7, a little after 7. Planning your night, look for a low temperature of 30 in Cottage Grove, 32 in Verona, and 31 in Dalyville. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, low of 30 in Platteville, 25 Wautoma, and 31 in Fond du Lac. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness, a little more cloud cover than today, but still mild with a high temperature of 43. Now, as we head into Friday morning, the first weather system will be bringing some rain and snow across northern Illinois. The question is how far north that precipitation gets. I have a chance of rain and snow showers mainly south of Madison during the day on Friday, north and west of Madison, probably precipitation free with temperatures in the upper 30s. So even if we do get some snow, it probably isn't going to stick, or very little of it will. Again, the rainfall amounts will be pretty sparse through early on Monday morning, and snowfall should be less than an inch across all of southern Wisconsin. First one, 7 to 10-day forecast. Temperatures upper 30s for Friday and Saturday, around 40 for Sunday and Monday. Again, the precipitation over the weekend, spotty and generally light. It'll end as a few flurries on Tuesday, and then after that, dry weather for much of the end of next week as temperatures climb back into the 40s, maybe some rain showers toward the middle of next weekend. As we check out first warn traffic right now, this is the view of the Beltline. Just a bit of a slowdown around Monona Drive. Not too bad today. I-39, 90, 94, no issues there on the east side of Madison. So travel times in the Beltline, about 18 minutes on the eastbound Beltline, 16 minutes on the westbound Beltline between University Avenue and I-39, 90. Inbound from Sun Prairie to downtown is a 19-minute trip today. That same trip outbound, also 19 minutes. US 12 Middleton to Sauk City is 17 minutes today, and it's 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-39, 90. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. It's an exciting time in women's sports. Coming up next at 5, find out just how much money these leagues and teams are expected to generate. That's after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save big money on your next painting project right now at Menards. Freshen up your home with Dutch Boy Forever interior paint. It's washable, scrubbable, and stain resistant. Pick up a gallon of flat for $32.96. Platinum Plus interior paint is a no prep, no prime paint that's made to last. It comes in a variety of colors to match any decor. Right now, a gallon of Dutch Boy Platinum Plus interior paint is $39.89.
4 seasons greetings to you all from Menards.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
This time of year, we gather, we celebrate, and we remember the things that matter most. For us, that's you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care, because the way you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
Think all Medicare plans are the same? Think again. A Medicare Advantage plan from Dean Health Plan gives you the benefits you need with premiums as low as $0 a month. Medical, hospital, and prescription drug coverage comes with $0 copays for primary care doctor visits. And extra benefits can help you save even more. Get preventive and comprehensive dental, $250 for eyewear, and $750 for hearing aids. Plus, you can save on over-the-counter health and wellness items. All this and a free fitness membership at more than 20,000 locations. Call 1-866-249-1748 now to request your free Dean Health Plan Medicare Advantage Guide. That's 1-866-249-1748. Dean Health Plan, right here with you.
Get the best deals of the season on a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhafels. Tempur-Pedic mattresses relieve pressure points and support the body as no other mattress can. And right now, you can save up to $500 on adjustable base sets. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Queen sets start at just $42 per month when you use 72-month financing. Hurry in, this deal won't last long. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The government will be sending a free antigen tests for COVID-19 to schools next month. The Department of Health and Human Services is set to teach districts how to request them soon. Officials say schools can keep the tests on site or send them home with students. This news comes as hospitalizations from COVID have been on the rise and as officials expect cases to spike.
General Motors says it will cut spending on self-driving cars after one hit a pedestrian earlier this year. Chief Executive Mary Barra says development of cruise cars will be more deliberate going forward. The production of GM's Origin vans, which have no driver's seat, steering wheel, or pedals, is currently suspended.
Elite women's sports are expected to generate more than $1 billion next year, according to financial analysts at Deloitte. The predictions are based on three main revenue streams: match day, broadcast, and commercial. Soccer and basketball are forecast to be the two most valuable. Soccer expected to bring in $555 million, basketball $354 million. Deloitte also predicts the value of women's teams and leagues will continue to rise, making broadcast deals increasingly lucrative. We're back with a final check of your forecast after a short break.
Embrace the season of giving at the Century House. Donate $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless home office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat, or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
SSM Health and News 3 Now would like to invite you and your family to make a colorful connection this giving season. Go to channel3000.com to download a Time for Kids coloring sheet or find it in November's Madison magazine. Add color and a kind message, then mail it to SSM Health. They'll share with a hospital patient who can't be home for the holidays. And you might even see it on News 3 Now. Take time for kids and spread joy to others by making a colorful connection.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to PowerSwabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. PowerSwabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
Well, they're whiter, they're brighter, and I feel better about my smile. And it was so easy to do.
One friend was like, your teeth look like really white. Did you do anything to it? And I was like, I did. I did Power Swabs.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This Cyber Week, order Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 50% off and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit PowerSwabs.com today.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, our CBS Evening News investigation. We go to West Africa to see how chocolate is made with child labor. The reality behind your favorite candies like M&Ms and Snickers. Those headlines and more tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And then coming up tonight at 6, local law enforcement is addressing security concerns in places of worship as faith-based hate crimes grow worldwide. That story and more coming up in the next half hour. Spotify released its yearly metrics wrap to users this morning, and big shocker, Taylor Swift is Spotify's most played artist of the year, more than 26 billion streams since January 1st.
Bad Bunny took second, followed by The Weeknd and Drake. As for a song, well, Miley Cyrus's record-breaking Flowers took the top spot with more than 1.6 billion global streams. Spotify Wrapped reveals personal metrics to users around artists, albums, songs, and podcasts. Gary Canalti joining us now. Final check.
CW call was in there?
No, CW didn't make it. 45 straight years.
Got to start listening more. Well, skies are clear out there. It's actually a pretty nice night. Temperatures are starting to cool down, though. Right now, 39 Madison, 35 in Lone Rock, 36 in Janesville here in Dane County. Still 40 in Wanakee, 37 in Belleville, and 37 in Mount Horeb. Look for clear to partly cloudy skies this evening. Temperatures dropping into the lower 30s by 10 p.m. Look for one more mild day tomorrow, and then maybe some rain and snow shower chances toward the weekend.
All right, Gary, thanks. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.